friends, I hope you all are doing great. It's me, Nikki, here to take you on the journey of refreshing under my kitchen sink and to share some tips with you on how to organize this tough space. So let's get started. Okay, friends, so let's tackle that place that gets a little grungy. Under our kitchen sinks is that area that it can become cluttered fast. It's not attractive because of all the piping and the garbage disposal and all that stuff, but it is a way to make it function and beautiful at the same time. Now, one thing that I need to do is reline because it's gotten a little yucky under there. So I'm going to reline. I showed you this in my haul video that I'll link below earlier this week. And one thing that I do recommend for under the counter, if you can, is one of these racks here. And many of you have gotten this over the years from my previous, you saw it in my previous under the cabinet video, which I'll link that below so you can kind of see my setup before, if anyone has not seen that. But it has that drawer function, which is nice. But I'm taking this one out and I'm going to reuse this in another part of the home because I found these in Target, and I'll link these in the description box below also. But I loved it. It's white. It matches my kitchen. It would brighten the area. I'm refreshing under here for the spring. It also had a variety of accessories that also complemented it. And as you can see, under the sink, you have to kind of plan it out. So when you organize, I don't recommend just going buying bins and baskets and then coming home and saying, okay, I'm going to organize under the kitchen sink. You want to take your measurements. You want to look at kind of a diagram for under your sink. And when I do that, I find that I'm more successful when I'm organizing within a space. So the first thing we got to do, friends, is we got to get it cleaned and relined. I'm going to use the rest of this Caldray. I'm trying to use this bottle up, and so I'm going to use this to give it a nice wipe down under here, and it's really going to make it smell fresh and yummy under here. And so it can be even difficult cleaning with the piping and things like that, but where there's a will, friends, there is a way. And you can see I have a lot of low pipes, so it's really hard because it just blocks a good part of real estate for storing under here. And I understand that the purpose a lot of times is to hide off the piping, but we still are going to maximize this space. So basically, I'm just going to line under here and cut it to fit. And then this is going to, one, protect the bottom of my cabinet. So sometimes I like to line, especially the bottom cabinets in my kitchen, I always like to line those. And then that is also going to give me a nice fresh look in the space because it needed it. And again, under that kitchen cabinet for spring cleaning, that is one of the places that you definitely want on your list. And I tell you, it feels so good when you have this space functioning. And it's a space that we use every day because a lot of times this is where you're storing all of your products when you're cleaning your kitchen. This is where you store your scrubbers, your kitchen towels, all kinds of things. So I want to show you how to beautifully store it and how to make it function for you, easy to get to your things and maximize that space. So when I look under my kitchen cabinet, I see a L shape. I see a big open space on the right side, and then I see a L in the front. I see a line in the front, so that makes a L shape for me. So I know that that's the space I'm going to use. All the other space is taken up mostly by that kind of component with the plumbing and all of that. So that is the space that I have is the space that I'm focusing on. So they had the bigger drawer here at Target also. And again, I'll link all of these below that I got from Target in the description box if you want to check them out. But this right here has a larger drawer, which I said this is perfect for like my kitchen towels and things like that. So I knew I wanted that. The wonderful thing that I did like about these were that they were stackable. And so I could build on. So before I went to the store, I measured to make sure that I knew what type of system I needed as far as height and width. And so the smaller drawers were perfect because it would help me be able to build different categories. So I knew the first drawer I thought would be good for towels. The second drawer I knew could be good for my dish liquid. And then I said the top one could be great for like like my dishcloths and things like that. So I think this is going to work out perfectly. I just got to turn it the right way so I can open my drawers. But it gives me a little drawer system under here. It maximizes the space, and it really, I think it's going to work great. Now you see I have that little slim space available. To me, that is valuable real estate. So I needed to figure out how I wanted to use that. And I really, friends, didn't have to figure it out. I already knew, because if you watch my previous video of under my cabinet sink from several years ago, you kind of know the system that I use under here to maximize space, and it's these containers here. The only difference that is from my last video or the last time I shared it with you is the color of the top. I think I had like a turquoise or teal color lid. But this will help me maximize the space here. I use these all over because they are stackable, they are small but efficient, and I love them. So this was another rack that I found in that collection at Target, and I thought this would be perfect to give me that tiered, not tiered, but more of a stackable option on the other side. It's narrow, which will allow me to maximize that space, and also I could think about using it horizontally or vertically. So that's the great thing. It makes me so that over the years, if I need to change out or change it around, I could turn it horizontally, it would still fit, and I could turn it vertically and it could still fit. And that's not the case with a lot of organizational items because of that pipe. So not many things are going to fit where that pipe is. So this I liked. I thought that this could really work, and it gives me 2 shelves there within my under the counter, because I have a few goals here. One is to maximize the space, and 2 is to hide the piping. That, for me, I don't want to open my cabinet and see all those piping. That drives me crazy sometimes. I just don't like that. So I wanted to really make it beautiful, but it has to function perfectly for me. So for me, friends, when I'm organizing the space, it's about measuring, assessing, getting all that first. Then it's about cleaning it out, which you guys have seen. Both of those are checked off the list. And now that I have my kind of tools, I'm arranging them within the cabinet because I need to make sure that everything is looking like I planned it out. And so I put everything in there empty so I can take a look at it before I fill it up and make sure that the arrangement works for me, make sure that I feel like it's going to function simply, and that I've executed my design my organizational design, the way I want it to look and the way I want it to function. So once I take the look of it empty, then I'm ready to start filling up and finishing off the project. So I have all of my items laid out of what's going to go under the sink, and this is the time to do that assessment and make sure that you refresh, especially this spring, get those grungy sponges out of there and refresh with new ones, making sure that you have the tools that you realistically use under your sink. And then think about the season, add some fresh touches for the spring, such as scents in your dish liquid, your dishwashing liquid, your dishwashing tabs, your hand soaps and things like that. So that's what I did. Now I got these pads here, these cleaning pads, from one of my subscribers from Germany. She sent these all the way from Germany. I think she has an Etsy store where she sells them, so I'm going to link them down below. But she says these are great because after they dry and things, they don't stink. So I was like, I was all sold for that. So I'm going to put these under my sink, and I may cut them down so that I can really just maximize them. So I was excited about getting these. Another thing that is new that I added to my collection was these clean kitchen candles, and I love these because it smells like lemon, and you guys know how much in my kitchen I love the scent of lemon, because when you put lemon and use lemon within your kitchen, it helps get rid of those food odors. So I like the lemon essential oils, if I can use linen kind of cleaning products. So these smell like such a yummy clean lemon. So I am excited about these. So I stocked up on these, and I've seen them before, but I never jumped on them, but now I have. And then I also picked up some new hand soap, which this I looked online was pretty pricey online, but I went to Marshall's and found it, and I think I paid all of $3 or $4 for it. So I felt like I got a great deal. So I loaded up on the hand wash for the kitchen. So I got new products that I felt were spring. I loved that they had the little bumblebee on it. I grabbed some of my new sponges that I had got from the Grove, and of course I keep my essential oils in here, and I also keep a tea tree oil because this is great for cleaning your baking sheets and sometimes you have that grunge on it. Tea tree oil can really help with that. So that's all of the products that I have in here, plus my dishwashing tabs and kind of my dish things, things to clean the dishwasher and things like that. So now that I have assessed and I have all of the things here, it's time to pack it up so that I can put it under the sink. Now, one good thing about me using these containers also for my things, it really helps keeps things clean because they're all contained in their little space. It really helps them stay fresh and free from the debris and dust and all of that. So I find that it's easier to maintain. So not only do they stack and they're very good storage for under the sink, they really help you with the cleaning portion of it, keeping it maintained. So basically, I've already identified what each container is going to be for. I'm putting my sponges in one. I put my essential oils in one. And another thing about it is it helps corral things. So like These tabs here are what I use to clean the dishwasher. They're not dishwasher tabs per se for cleaning your dishes, but they're more for cleaning the machine. So I have those in a smaller container because I don't have to label it. I know the small container, we know that those are not for washing dishes, but for cleaning the dishwasher. And then the larger container here, we know that the bulky container is our everyday dishwashing tabs. So that's, important to know. And so I replaced the little side basket here where I keep my sponge. That's where I kind of throw it when I'm done with it, my sponge and my scrubber here. And so what's great about this is that it just matches with everything else. And so now it's about just loading everything in. I've identified the space. I made sure that it's stocked up. These are my dishwashing liquids, and you'll notice I love different scents, and the packaging for a lot of things can be distracting and produce clutter, and it just, that for me, I don't like. So I find a way, when I have things that I love to use but I don't love the packaging and I can't change it, I find a way to position them so that they're not distractive to the whole overall plan. So this drawer is perfect for my supply of dishwashing liquids. I have what I want, but when you look over there, it's not distracting. The packaging is not distracting. And so then I'm going to just load in this side, and you see how that just fills that in perfectly. I can see what I have. I can easily get to what I have, and I don't have to see all of that plumbing in the back. And friends, why it's always important for me to beautify my organization, such as making sure I don't see the plumbing, is because when I have a beautiful space, whether it's in the open or closed off, it inspires me to keep it that way. So when I open this cabinet and I see everything has a place, I see that it's really neat, I am encouraged to keep it that way. My family's encouraged to keep it that way. Rather, if I open it and saw kind of bottles everywhere, I'm going to think, let me just throw it anywhere. It's just thrown anywhere. So that's why it's important for me to make sure that every corner has a plan and is beautifully executed, so that it encourages us to keep it that way. And we can clearly see here, like right now, I'm all about blocking out spaces. There's no way to throw any kind of bottle in here because it's all taken up with the organization. So when we have, say, some new essential oils, you have to put it into place because there's nowhere else to put it. So if you live in a family, it's good to block out with your organization so that they are kind of forced to put things back in their place because there's no room to just throw it in there. So the key thing that I'm trying to say here with that is when you're organizing the space, think about the maintenance portion of it. Like when I look into the cabinet here, I know that now we know where everything goes. We're not going to just throw anything anywhere because we can't. It's just not, there's no room or no place to do it. So, of course, when you're working out your plans, think about how are you and your family going to maintain it? Is this going to be one that's easy to maintain, or am I creating a system that it's going to look pretty today and it's going to look crazy tomorrow? And you don't want that. So that's why it's important before you just run out to Target or anywhere and buy items, is to really think out the organization for your space. Because if you look at my previous under the cabinet video, you will notice that my system has not really changed. Now aesthetically it looks different, it looks fresh, it refreshed, and that's what I want, but the system works for me. So I'm not going to change my system because I have found a workable system under my kitchen sink. But every couple of years, I will come in and I'll refresh it, such as I did today, maybe putting the new canisters and changing the color and changing the products to be fresher. But those are inexpensive ways to really do that. So I am excited that it is refreshed. I hope you all have enjoyed. I will see you at the next video. And this is Nikki saying goodbye.